It's hard to remember sometimes, but the fastest DeLorean site was started in December of 2016 to finally lay to rest the boasts and claims of unverified power and quarter-mile times by setting some standards and collecting every ounce of data that we could find. It was a pretty arduous task and one that most in the DeLorean engine swapping community appreciated. While the late Don Steger was the nicest dude to everyone he met, including me, his notoriety for claiming to have the fastest DeLorean with his Buick Grand National swap and then having it so publicly fall short was a massive frustration to DeLorean enthusiasts that had swapped their engines and could quantify their power with actual dyno reads and quarter-mile times. So a centralized site documenting that proved valuable. As well, the original treatment for the documentary was spotlighting those owners and telling their stories throughout the build of my car. We shot interviews, even had then Horsepower King Nicholas Radel come to the bar and talk about his build. When disaster struck, Kenny ghosted and left me with a lemon. That shift in the story killed the original treatment. Maybe if Fastest DeLorean had been a long series, we could have included it all, but alas, in the 90 minutes we had, the interviews were relegated to a thank you in the credits and as a part of the Fastest DeLorean diary clips online, which you can still watch today. As Fastest DeLorean Part 2 tied up loose ends, we gladly handed over the baton to Christopher Hawes in the UK, whose 12.52 time was less than a quarter second behind ours, and we even delayed the release of the film hoping he could break the record for the perfect button to the movies. But weather that fall killed the possibility. He has since sold the car, but still holds the number 2 spot. Enter an incredible Kia build in San Diego that recorded nearly 40 more horsepower than ours on a dyno, and it should easily break the 12.29 record. I connected with the owner and had a nice phone call offering to drive out to the track with him and film the entire thing. He had no plans to do that quite yet, but we said we'd keep in touch. And then came the Drive.com's article on this car, quoting him with unverified horsepower claims, quarter-mile speeds without it ever being on a track, and most shockingly, a complete erasure of the entire community since Steger's Buick Grand National claim a decade ago. Nothing about Fastest DeLorean, the other owners with verified speeds, times, and horsepower, complete radio silence. Of course, I was sent this article by multiple people, and I wrote to the author specifically about them skipping 10 years worth of history, with no reply. That's the thing with misinformation these days. Mindshare is all that matters. You don't have to prove anything, you just have to say it louder with the most publicity. This is also when the bullying started. When I would comment in threads that I couldn't wait for him to take it to the track to beat my record, his reply, I already did. Thanks to the Draggy app, you can now get a quarter-mile time without going to a track. He showed the screenshot, said that was from his DeLorean, and it makes him the fastest, so there's no need to take it to the track. Then he said, if I want to prove I'm the fastest, I have to race him. Because of course that's how speed records work. Usain Bolt doesn't actually have the fastest 100-meter time. He has to continually race people that have never been to a track and beat them. What? This is usually where the community jumps in and calls BS. And privately, some did. However, the most vocal and biggest member of the community joined in the bullying and agreed, if I don't race him, I'm a sore loser. Yes, somehow the 2017 quarter-mile record doesn't actually exist, and I've already lost something. It seems like all of this has brought up some pent-up jealousies and anger about Fastest DeLorean I didn't know existed. The thing is, and I thought this was pretty clear in the documentaries, I just don't have ego wrapped up in my car or the record. I was in a tough situation in 2017 and pulled through. That's over now, and all I want to do is support others trying to do the same. The movie was about getting the record, not keeping it. And no amount of bullying can create that need. I don't want to keep it. In fact, I've been trying to inspire people to beat it for years so the site can live on. That's why I spotlit Christopher at the end of the films. The record continually being beaten keeps it all credible. We all get to support each other. Unless, of course, we don't support each other. So with that, I have to walk away from the community record keeping on thefastestDeLorean.com. Stats and verified numbers clearly don't trump headlines. Hell, I thought offering to go to the track and record the dude's quarter-mile run would be seen as a friendly gesture, but even that is now portrayed as me being chicken because I'm holding a camera and not a steering wheel. Boy, did you guys peg me wrong. I am absolutely the guy with the camera and not the guy with the steering wheel. That's why Fastest DeLorean was a good story. I had no business racing that car. How did you guys miss that? I mean, posting this is like calling me Marty McFly. And you're right. I'm the guy that doesn't play victim to the bully, doesn't wreck, and can still play guitar. Marty literally says what I'm feeling in the movie. You think I'm stupid enough to race that asshole? And clearly they did. In fact, I don't think they would have taunted me unless it would have worked on them, which says a lot more about them than it does about me. So, taunt away. I'll be over here making my other documentaries and moving on. What a strange chapter of my life this has been.